Hello, everybody, and welcome to OCTV's coverage of the Intimidator Series Finals. Tonight, we are going to be watching these guys race the Gen 5 car of tomorrow. No restrictor plate, speeds in excess of 245 miles an hour, and should be a heck of a show. What do you think, Katie? What kind of wrecks and general chaos do you think we're going to see out there tonight?
Yes, indeed. I'm excited to get this race started because this is going to be absolute chaos, and I do mean that to its truest extent. It is going to be completely insane, and the reason why I say this is because in any other car, this race would be crazy. But this car and the way it sucks up to other drivers, and you have to back out, and you have to be ready for other people to back out, and we have 37 drivers currently in this session. 37 drivers with this car on this track. It is going to be completely insane.
Now, our coverage of the regional qualifiers last week really thought we'd see a lot more cautions than we did. Ultimately, a lot of what we ended up seeing was cars on old tires really pancaking the wall out of turn two and having to see single car incidents that wouldn't bring out a yellow. So there is going to be quite a bit of strategy involved in getting a win here. Just a reminder, this is a team event, so we're not so much concerned about who wins the race, although congrats to them when they do. But we're going to be looking for the best overall team score for your 2016 World Cup of iRacing Intimidator Series champions.
No, and you are absolutely right. It may not be a bunch of big wrecks like we would normally see at this racetrack. I do think we will. I will say that. I do think that we will end up having a large wreck. I don't know if that will come very quickly or if it will develop after people start logging laps and moving around a little bit more, getting those tires worn out a little bit more, and maybe when they come to pit, we might get some trouble. But I think that there will be a big wreck. Now, just like you had mentioned, we've had a lot of drivers have a bunch of trouble for some reason coming off of turn two, getting up into the wall, carrying so much speed, and they ended up coming back down and just swiping themselves out on the backstretch and into the inside wall. Now, I do think that we'll see a lot more of that. I don't think that's been completely eliminated just because this is suddenly the finals and everyone just picks up their skill. I don't think that's the case. I think people will be a little bit more careful. But again, we have so many cars in this race that it's almost like you can't help it at some point.
Yeah, and just a quick reminder, what are the clubs we've got competing here tonight?
Yes, indeed. The clubs we have competing right now are the Carolina Club, which they're not necessarily as I would say organized as some of these other clubs, but they are so putting in some strong showings right now. We also have I like to refer to them as the DH Club. It's the DEATCH Club. We also have the Northwest Club, which always does a good show in there. The bunch of those guys run these private leagues together, and so that they're very used to being around each other. They like their teamwork, so keep an eye on Northwest. They might be up front. They might be trying to settle the score there. And UK&I is the last club of the day. So we have four big clubs. Each club right now has at least, and I mean at least, 9 cars in their club. So every single club has shown up to their full strength. And so that's why I say this is going to be a very, very interesting race.
Yeah, it definitely will be. It was really interesting watching the races last week. We know we're at Talladega, but this track, it seemed like it was racing a lot more similar to a track like Charlotte, with the way the cars and the tire fall off and the way they were running the lines.
Yeah, very true. I think that this is going to be it's almost unpredictable in a way, really. Just the way that these cars are going to act. Now, something I will point out as people are gridding up right now, we have quite a few Northwest drivers deciding not to put in a time. They decided to not put in a time, and we have a group of them at the back here, a group of 5 at the back. So this is going to be very interesting to watch. We have a bunch of different strategies here because not everyone in their club qualified around each other. So keep that in mind. Now, to highlight the UK&I club, every single one in that club has that same black paint scheme with the logo on the front hood. Keep that in mind. Northwest has the blue and green paint scheme with their club logo on the front. Carolina doesn't have a paint scheme for every single car, so we'll try our best to remind you guys who's involved with Carolina. DE, AT, and CH, they all have relatively the same logo on their hood. So if you're wondering how in the world you're going to keep up with all of these clubs, that is indeed how you will do it. Check out the paint scheme, and that should remind you of where they're from.
Going to run down through the grid here for you real quick. On pole, Michael Tant out of Carolina, and Stefan Nobis on the outside out of Diach. Wayne Hutchinson out of the Northwest Club and John Jarrett out of UK and Ireland make up your second row. Doug Pickering, Christian Seelman in 5th and 6th. Oliver Galitza and Connery Maddock in 7th and 8th. Karsten Wegeroff and Carl Hayes in 10th, or 9th and 10th, excuse me. Matthew Coleman, Douglas Hess in 11th and 12th. Jacques Aret and Holger Kluner in 13th and 14th. Patrick Kopp, Harry Tiller in 15th and 16th. Simon Thorns and Wolfgang Wildnauer in 17th and 18th. Todd Labronte and Scott Hutchinson in 19th and 20th. Mark Murphy and Paul Jennings in 21st and 22nd. Jared Morgan and Marion Hensel in 23rd and 24th. Roman Walter, Randy Hauser in 25th and 26th. Gary Jenkins and Gary Schilling in 27th and 28th. Wayne Finley and Aaron Rodgers in 29th and 30th. David Wright and Mark Walls in 31st and 32nd. Stuart Dick and Drew Lalonde in 33rd and 34th. Chad Barker, Carl Burke in 35th and 36th. And Scott Kukas in the 065 rounding out the field back there in 37th as the field makes their way down the Talladega backstretch.
Yeah, just to give you guys a quick shout out here, Stuart Dick is not in the race right now. He is disconnected, and it shows he is off track and will not be starting this race.
Riding along here with Michael Tant up front. We're going to ride with him all the way to the green flag. And these guys are going to settle at 80 laps. No fast repairs. Cautions are on.
Yeah, this is going to be a very, very, very interesting race. And I keep saying that because I'm so excited to see what these guys do around each other, because it's going to be a very crazy, crazy intense start.
Field making its way off the banking of turn 4 into the tri-oval. Pace car going to be looking to pull off. And again, this doesn't have the start-finish line at the center of the tri-oval. It's down past the start-finish, or the pit exit. And there goes Michael Tant. He's off and running.
Yeah, he is not waiting for it. Look at that jump. That may come back to haunt him here with all of these trucks now getting in single file line. 59 trying to get down to 32, not going to let him do it. That is going to stick him on the outside. The 52, 2 cars stuck on the outside right now. The 59 is clear. Let's see if he'll get it in line. They're going to be spread out through the backstretch here. 17-31, they are side by side for second place. Now you see him catching up to Michael Tant. They are coming with fire right now, trying to catch up to him. Luckily, they seem to slow down as soon as they reach him. That's good for him. He'll try to fit in. They are 2 by 2 at the front of this field right now, coming to complete lap 1. I don't know if Michael Tant will lead lap 1. It does not look like he will. The 31 with such a strong run right now. That is Stefan Nobis in the 31 car.
Yeah, great run by him. He had a line of cars behind him, and the leader, Michael Tant, all he had out there was the 17, a Northwest driver. That is Wayne Hutchison. And he himself is starting to fall back here a little bit into the clutches of the field.
Yes, indeed. And that 31 takes the lead. The 26 now passing the 50. The 50 going to be stuck outside for now. The 32 trying to move into second. We have a nice mix up front here between the clubs right now. Everyone trying to blend in. So it's looking good the way this has gone on so far. The 17, that is Wayne Hutchinson. If you are used to our channel, you'll recognize him. He races in our truck series on Thursday night, so it's good to see him back on the track here. The 50 going to lose another spot from Connery
Ooh, car
medic.
hardened to the wall back there. Didn't see what number that was.
Looks like 20, the 26. No, I'm sorry, that is the 29. The 29 of Mark Walls. Apologies, we have a lot of drivers moving out here. The 43 has a lot of damage as well. We've had quite a few cars actually get a bit of damage around here, trying to collect them all.
Yeah, and we have this group of 4 Northwest drivers back here running, and I imagine they're just trying to stay together and try to stay out of trouble. But with the way these cars burn off the tires, I don't know that you can stay out of trouble here.
Yeah, I really don't think that you can. I mean, it's one thing to be kind of spread out, trying to catch each other back and forth, but by spreading out, you might leave yourself open to a large group kind of swallowing you up, and that can cause difficulties as well.
So, DH, UK, and Ireland, and Northwest, 1, 2, 3 right now.
Yeah, and so far, keep this in mind, the 28 of Marion Hensel, the 96 of Jared Morgan, the 99 of Douglas Hess, those drivers have all been on pit lane right now. They all have damage, and that was from the first small wreck we had early on.
Starting to see these front cars, these first 5 or 6, they look like they're starting to just get in a line and try to break away from the main pack here a little bit. Looks like Karsten Wegeroff back there in 7th. He's got his hands full. There's all kinds of cars in this little pack here.
Yeah, we see a little bit of movement going on with the 14, the 112 on the 50. That 50, man, he is just falling backwards right now. That was our pole sitter. Looks like the 112 trying to run with his teammates, trying to get around him right now. We do see a little bundle right there with the 112, the 14, and the 58. That is all the UK and I team right now. The 50's kind of squeezed in between them. That 20 car, that is Matthew Coleman right now. Matthew Coleman is in the UK and I team as well. So is the 59 in front of him, John Jarrett. So keep in mind that 50 is now in a almost UK and I sandwich, so to say. Got to be careful there. You don't want anything bad to happen.
We got the 112 of Harry Tiller kind of working his way past the 50 now too. 50 continuing to back up. That's our pole sitter, Michael Tant.
Yeah, and real quick, I want to highlight the 08. The 08 of Randy Hauser. He has smacked the wall and has heavy damage on his right side. You can see that his right front tire is almost completely exposed, actually, right now. With the damage that he has, it must have been a single car wreck because nothing really alerted us to his, but he just smacked the wall, as well as the 803. Wolfgang has damage as well, the same amount of damage actually on his car.
Yeah, and like I was saying, I mean, these cars they seem to be able to take pretty significant damage before they really start falling off on speed.
Yes, indeed. I'm going through the field actually, and now I'm seeing the 52 of Christian Stillman. He also has damage, the same kind of damage. We see the same kind of right front damage that I really think is from these guys smacking the wall. And I'm seeing it always on the backstretch. I'm wondering if these guys are having as much trouble with turn 2 as we mentioned early on.
Oh,
and there we go. The 52 hitting the wall again. Turns sideways. There is a line of cars coming. They are going to dip down below him. The 20, you saw him back up off the car easily. 3 wide for a moment. Got to be careful here. The 52 now rolling against the wall, trying to come off of it. Has plenty of space right now if he decides to pit, but wow, a lot of damage from that smack one more time, and he will indeed bring it on into the pit lane.
Meanwhile, up front, we've got a 3-car breakaway now. That is Stefan Novus leading and has been for quite some time now, with Doug Pickering and Wayne Hutchison in the 2nd and 3rd spots behind him.
Yeah, and you got to love it because those 3 cars are from 3 different clubs out of the 4 that are competing. So that's really good to see. They're mixing it up and they're trying to pull away right now. Carl Hughes, or Hayes, not quite sure how to say your name, apologize. He is up in 4th, and he is from the UK and I club. So right there, he's trying to get to his teammate in the top 3. That is Doug Pickering. So he's going to back off a little bit here. I think he might be considering picking up his teammate. We'll have to watch him closely. But for now, they're pretty much spread out. We do see a decent pack of UK and I back behind them between the 6, the 112, the 58, the 14, and the 20, all involved from the UK and I club, trying to stick together right now. And I tell you what, I'm looking further back. The 25 of Roman Walter, he is right in front of 2 Northwest Series club drivers. I apologize. But he has a lot of right front damage as well. I'm just continuing to see that same kind of... Oh, as he gets sideways!
Wow.
As soon as I highlight him, I must have something going on. Oh, the 11 behind him trying to get by him decides better of it as the 25 almost tries to go high there. And you got to be very careful with this damage. We're seeing a lot of guys get out of whack all of a sudden.
Yeah, I remember hearing one of the drivers last week, I believe it was in our chat, said that at the pit stops, when they come in and pull these tires off, these tires are running temperatures in excess of 300 degrees. So they literally melt the tires off these cars.
Yeah, that really is not surprising. I do want to highlight a couple of drivers right now. The 29 of Mark Walls, the 53 of Carl Burke, the 18 of Chad Barker. These 3 guys are taking 19th through 21st right now, and they are all from the Northwest club, and they're trying to work their way up through the field. Remind you, they did not qualify. They decided to not put down a qualifying lap, so they're having to work their way through the field as the 29 of Mark Walls turns sideways, smack the inside of the back wall there. The caution will not come out, but he has heavy damage on lap 13 of 80 so far. The caution will not come out. He's going to take a big shot to his chances, and he's going to have to pit this time. There's no way he stays out with that much damage.
Oh, yeah. Big contact there for the 29, and with no fast repairs, that's going to be the end of his night here, most likely.
Yeah, you see him stopped right there. As we had someone else stopped right there. Funny enough, was stopped on the side. I'm seeing so many drivers with heavy damage here. It's insane. That right front there, just every driver. It looked like Carl Hayes had damage as well. He was seated in turn 3 on the grass right there. He had to reset the same time Mark Walls did. So quite a few drivers taking a hit right now.
Yeah, and we've still got this same 3-car group up front. However, Wayne Hutchison has moved into second and is now hunting that 31 of Stefan Nobis for the overall lead.
And I tell you what, I'm watching the 3 drivers up front. They've got a decent amount of pace right now, and it's 3 seconds back to the 4th place driver. Now that 4th place driver is sitting there right and easy, but if you look right behind them, there is a pack of 4 coming. That is 5th through 8th right now, and they are all from the same club. That is UK and I trying to make a move up through the field. Keep in mind that this is a team event. You need to get your drivers all the way up to the front of the pack right now. It's not just one, but it's multitude of drivers, so they need to get up there, and they're doing a great job so far.
Yeah, they definitely are, and you know, this is where being organized and realizing this is a team event is so important.
Yeah, and I'm still watching these drivers from UK and I. They are about to just swallow this 27 car that is riding in 4th place right now. Had no one to work with, so it's not surprising that they're going to lose time to a pack of 4 right now, and they're all running single file, so this should be very clean pass if they so decide. It looks like our 3rd victim of today is going to be Michael Tant. He was trying to keep his car clean, but just could not do it, and he actually dipped out from thorough pit, unfortunately. So he lost his race so far, and it's going to take a big hit. You kind of hate to see that because they qualified up front on pole and just could not hold it.
Now, because of the attrition here that we see in these races, if he can get back in here, it's possible he could get back in and move up enough to score points for his club. So don't want to bail on the race just yet if he doesn't absolutely have to.
You know, it's quite interesting. I'm going through this field over and over again, and these drivers are pretty mixed. I see a couple of UK and I cars trying to stick together. I see a couple of Northwest drivers, specifically the 3 of Drew Lalonde and the 18 of there's a car behind him. That's a 32 of Oliver Gabodlitza. I apologize. I cannot say your name. He smacked the inside wall in the backstretch. We've seen this a dozen times in our warm-up, in our regional races, and now in our finals. These guys are just getting off turn 2 and whipping their cars to the inside wall. And again, that is another
Oh,
driver heavy damage.
that is heavy impact for him.
We do see a couple of drivers actually dipping off right now to pit. Looking back, I see the 36 of Gary Schilling. Gary Schilling is coming to the pit. He has some right front damage, but honestly, at this point, almost everyone has right front damage.
Yeah, and we're working lap 20 here, just as soon as Stefan Novas crosses the start-finish line again, and I don't recall exactly how far they can go on gas, but these things do guzzle it pretty quick.
Yeah, absolutely, and I've said it before, and so many cars here have right front damage. We mentioned that it would happen. We mentioned that a couple of these guys have had problems in the regional races, but I've never seen so many cars with that right front damage that I'm seeing right now. It's quite interesting.
It looks like our leader, it looks like his car is still clean, and the same with the 17 of Wayne Hutchison.
And I'm watching through the field. It looks like we have 22 drivers out of a total 36 that started the race currently on the lead lap. So 22 we still have left competing right now.
And the leader is closing in on one of our Northwest drivers. That is the 065, Scott Kukas. He's really trying hard to stay on the lead lap, but looks like he may get swallowed up here.
And I want to remind people that everyone on the lead lap so far, very obviously, has not pitted. So we are still going on fuel. We're only 22 laps of 80 in the book so far. So keep that in mind. We will try to alert you guys when the leaders start pitting. And we do see a couple of people from the same club grouping up right now. But they have definitely not decided to pit. The people that have pit really either had an internet problem or have shot off of turn 2 wall and spun themselves on the backstretch with heavy damage. But that's pretty much it so far. We have had a lot of drivers do it, but still, like I said, 22 drivers on the lead lap.
Stefan Nobis continues to show the way here. Got the 74, Paul Jennings. He's 2 laps down. He's already pitted, I'm assuming, because he's moving like a rocket right now. Oh, and he just about takes out the leader there.
To give you an idea of how these guys are spread out through the field, our leader runs with one driver, and that is Doug Pickering in second position. After that, it is Wayne Hutchinson. He is 0.5 of a second back, 2 seconds back of the leader, and then 6.9 seconds back to the next car. So these leaders are pretty spread out. Now, once you reach 4th place, we have a group of UK and I cars following him through, and that is 5th through 9th, and 5th through 8th, and they are all within a couple tenths of each other. Then after that, you have the lone driver, the number 20 of Matthew Coleman, who is about 10 seconds back. Then after that, you really get spread out. We have the single car of Simon Thorns, that is in 10th. He is alone. He is very alone. Roman Walter, he's also alone by himself in 11th. After that, you have Drew Lalonde. He's currently alone, but only because he has no one on the lead lap around him. He does have the 50 of Michael Tant, but that's just Michael Tant is so many laps down. Then after that, we have Chad Barker riding alone with a couple of other guys, but they're not really, they're a couple tenths back of him. So we'll have to keep an eye on that.
And Stefanova's still out front, and actually he has gapped the second place car now and is running completely by himself.
Yeah, and don't forget, he's actually led every single lap so far. He has led every lap of this race. Now, they've switched positions behind him, but he's been able to hold it fairly easily. He now has a 1.8 second lead on second place.
And actually, the reason the second place car fell off so far is because he's actually taking a pit right now. So looks like the leaders are starting to work their pit strategies here.
Oh, the 68, apologies, the 68 car, he spun off of turn 2 and just smacks the inside wall. So I believe we have found another car that'll be pitting this time by. We see it over and over again. Just doesn't seem to be able to stop right now. Carrying so much speed. We have the 30 of Patrick Kopp. He is pitting right now. We have a bunch of cars pitting, the 51, the 30, the 43, the 9, the 20, the 112, the 50. A bunch of cars all deciding to come into pit lane right now. So 26, it looks like 26, 27 laps is where everyone's getting to right now. We see the 31, our leader, on pit lane. He is pulled down to start his pit stop here. See how that goes. Keep an eye on him. We have a couple drivers you see coming out in front of him. That is the 517 of Simon Thorns right now. He is a lap down. He's going to try and get one back while the 31 pits here.
And that has given the lead
come
over.
To a clean stop.
That has given the lead over to the 17 of Wayne Hutchison out of the Northwest Club. See if he is going to come back or come down this time by. He is really having to slow down through 3 and 4 there. You know that right front is just completely done. But no, he's going to stay out at least for one more.
Yeah, and in the meantime, the 31 is already out in about the middle of 1 and 2 right now, trying to stay below that yellow, because as soon as you come up, that is very dangerous if you come up in front of people. So keep that in mind. Right now, we only have 5 cars in the lead lap, but that is because we are in the middle of green flag pit stops. Keep that in mind, because if a caution were to come out, which that would mix everything up, but I don't think one will. I think they're doing a really good job. Overall, these drivers are doing a really good job at running around each other. We've seen a bunch of small single car incidents, but for the most part, these guys are doing a really, really, really good job.
Wayne Hutchinson, he's on the Shell economy run here. He's going to be completing 30 green flag laps. He's got to be just about on fumes, I would think.
Yes, indeed, and we'll keep an eye on him. He has just led his 3rd lap so far out of 30. Doing really, really good. We have the 17 of Wayne Hutchinson, the 91 of Scott Hutchinson, the 26 of Doug Pickering, and I believe the 3 of Drew Lalonde. Those are your drivers, and Aaron Rodgers in 15th. In the top 15th, all those drivers that I just mentioned have not pitted yet. So keep that in mind as they're cycling through.
And here comes our leader, Wayne Hutchison, for service. And Scott Hutchison coming out of 3 and 4. We'll see if he is going to pull off this time. Does not look like he's going to.
I don't believe he will. He will try to come around and lead another lap. It looks like Wayne Hutchinson sitting on pit lane trying to complete his pit stop. They are around to the left side tires just now. The 31, he is coming through the tri-oval, so he will pass that 17 car. It'll be an easy lead for him once the 91 of Scott Hutchison decides to pit here.
Oh, and Hutchison hard into the wall. Could not save it. He is sliding off onto the inside. He is
Yeah,
going to get it
almost got
going
his
again.
teammate, the 065 of Scott Kukas, involved, but luckily he did not. So he's got a little bit of damage, and he will come into the pit lane hopefully this time. I really don't see that him staying out too long.
And that is going
Having
to
a tough
give
time controlling that car.
the lead back over to the 31 of Stefan Nobis as we complete our first cycle of green flag pit stops.
Yes, indeed. And one by one, you'll see a couple of drivers come back onto the lead lap with the 91 wrecking and the 17, I believe, pitting. So we now have 15 cars on the lead lap, but they will start lapping more and more cars. Keep an eye on the 31. He is our leader. The 11 car is Todd Labronte. He is 3 laps down. So really, really not in contention here, but trying their best, trying to keep logging laps here because you never know what will happen towards the end of this race.
Yeah, and the 26, Doug Pickering, currently running second. He is about 5 seconds back of the leader and does not have any draft help. So curious to see if he can hook up with somebody and make a charge back towards the front. He's actually losing time right now to the leader.
Ooh, as our leader scraped the wall there a little bit off of turn 2, but luckily didn't lose anything. Just a little bit of a kiss on the wall so far. Seems like he's following the 99 of Douglas Hess right now. Douglas Hess from the Carolina Club. Kind of splitting these drivers for him, if anything.
Yeah, and you got to be so smooth on the wheel because at these speeds, just a tiny little twitch will move a car an entire length.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. Now, keep in mind, we have had a lot of drivers have single car incidents, and that is why we have so many drivers a lap down, at least one lap down. Right now, 11 cars on the lead lap, 11 cars. The next one to be lapped is the 3 of Drew Lalonde. He is currently out of turn 4, and you'll see our leader almost following him through, just trying to lap cars as best as he can. That 18 right in front of our leader right now, that is Chad Barker. Chad Barker is already a lap down, so this will be his second lap. He will go down, unfortunately for him. He was doing such a good job right now, passing that 59. That's not a battle between cars. The 59, John Jarrett, he is currently 13 laps down, so, and dealing with a lot of damage, just trying to finish this race.
Stefan Novus continuing to show the way. Looks like we've only had a few drivers retire so far. The 29 of Mark Walls and the 53 of Carl Burke, both out of the Northwest Club. And then Stuart Dick and Paul Jennings also have retired. Actually, was it Stuart Dick that never even started the race?
Yeah, Stuart Dick did not start the race. Our first retiree was, I believe, Marion Hensel. 30 laps down, Mark Walsh 22, Carl Hughes, or Hayes, I apologize, 22 laps down, Carl Burke 21, Jared Morgan 16, John Jarrett 14, Oliver Galitza is 6 laps down, Paul Jennings is 5, Todd Labronte is 4, we have Michael Dant at 3 laps down, we have Scott Hutchinson, Rondi Hauser, Scott Kukas, Douglas Hess, Chad Barker, all 2 laps down, and up from there, we have a good bit of handful of drivers, only 1 lap down, still trying to stay in contention here. Oh, sorry, we got a car spinning here. Who is that? That is Jared Morgan, the 96. You talk about drifting out of that corner. He saved that car. Now that is a replay you will want to see. That was absolutely a beautiful catch right there. Oh Lord, I mean, he spun just like everyone else did off of turn 2 and was headed for the inside wall, but just drifted out of it. What a fantastic catch by him. Now, unfortunately, he's 17 laps down, but what a great catch to show off right now.
Oh.
Just phenomenal driving on his part. That's really, really good to see. It really shows you that just because a driver has some trouble does not mean they don't, that they aren't the best. A lot of these drivers just had rotten luck, honestly. And I mean, we have a good bit of drivers here doing an excellent job.
Back up front to the leader, and he's got himself in a little hornet's nest here.
Yes, indeed, trying to work his way through right now, doing a decent job at it, just trying to get by, trying to stay safe, doing the right thing. Crosses the line, 42 laps to go now as he does it, and that will he just put Drew Lalonde a lap down, which means we only have 8 drivers on the lead lap right now.
Contact right behind him between the, I don't see who that was the 112?
That was the 25 of Roman Walter that had some trouble, and I believe, that was close for him. And the 18 of Chad Barker had trouble there, below the 517. So yeah, you're looking for the 18 of Chad Barker, smacked like the 517, came down, saved his car, trying to dodge the 25 who's going so slow on the backstretch, and luckily he was able to continue on from that.
Yeah, it looks like the 25 has blown up too, so this is going to be the end of his race. That's that's Roman Walter.
Unfortunately, you don't want to see that because we've had a bunch of drivers trying to stay in it, but that's why you keep running. That's why you keep trying, because you never know these drivers, whether an engine blows up or someone spins out, it doesn't matter, but you can gain positions if you just keep trying, keep logging laps.
Yeah, and if Stefan Nobis has any trouble, the complexion of this race will change immediately.
Now, keep in mind that we are not in the A or B car. We are in the car of tomorrow, and because of that, these drivers have to drive this car so much differently. You won't see a lot of pack racing because of the way these cars are not held back by any type of restriction. We don't have restrictor plates here. They can go literally as fast as they can, but to do that, they have to dodge cars, and they end up just not being able to run in a pack because they have to start and stop so many times.
Yeah, these cars were a little narrow and a little top heavy. Kind of made them drive like an old pickup. And then you go 250 miles an hour in it.
Yeah, as of right now, I'm going to walk you guys through the leaders that are on the lead lap right now. We have the 31 of Stefan Nobis. He is currently from the, as I like to call it, the DH Club, the DEATCH Club, doing a great job up there. We have Doug Pickering from the UKNI Club. He is in second position. He is 12 seconds back of our leader right now. After that, we have the 17 of Wayne Hutchinson battling back right now. He's from the Northwest Club. He is 20 seconds back. He was battling that 27 you see on the track. Karsten Wageroff, I do sincerely apologize, guys, for butchering these names. That driver is from the DH Club as well. And then, of course, the top 5, we have the 112 of Harry Tiller from the UKNI Club. So we have a decent mixture of drivers in these from these clubs just in the mix up at the top 5. So it's really, really, really good to see.
Yeah, and we've got 3rd, 4th, and 5th. They're all basically in the same pack. So this is all for position as we watch him here.
Yeah, 6th place is the 6th car, trying to make his way back up there. You see he has a little bit of right front damage, as scraped the wall there, but he's able to keep up in the top 6 right now, so doing a really good job on his part. Oh, as the caution is out right now. Believe, yeah, that's Jaron Morgan, the 96, up on his hood for a little bit there. Wow, and he got clobbered. I mean, absolutely clobbered by the 14 car. Oh, Lord in heaven. That is James Corrett.
Ooh, it was like something.
Corrett, apologize. He was on the lead lap. The 14 was on the lead lap. Jared Morgan, I'm not quite sure what his thought process was there, but he had spun himself out and was sitting on the track, and because of that, the 14 came through and just absolutely took him off the track, cleared him, launched him into the air. Oof, that 14 running on the lead lap is going to take just a hard hit right there. Those those cars are absolutely totaled.
Yeah, for sure. That was a hard hit by the 14. That's Jacques Surratt. Try to get his perspective on that. Yeah, and I don't know. I guess he just didn't see the 96 there.
Yeah, I guess he was trying to get off the track any way he could, and unfortunately, that meant getting right in front of the way of a driver. Now we have 36 laps to go. Our drivers, there's really no reason for them not to pit right now. We have 7 cars on the lead lap here. And we see our leader, remember he had 10-second lead before the caution came out, so he'll have a clean in and out right now. That is Stefan Novus pulling into the pits here. Doug Pickering will be behind him just now getting to the pit entrance. The 27, the 17, the 112, the 6, and the 58. All of these drivers on the lead lap coming into the pits this time. Everyone else will have to wait their turn.
31 slid through his pit just a little bit. Probably not going to cost him.
Yeah, I don't think anything at this point will cost him because he was so far ahead of these drivers. I mean, he was halfway down pit road before they even hit pit entrance. And you see him just taking his time, got out in front. The next driver, I believe, will be the 27. 27 having a nice pit stop there. That will pick him up a spot. The 26 will follow. The 112, he picked up himself a spot. That's because the 17 of Wade Hutchinson lost 2 on that one. The 6 coming out in 6th place as well. And Mark Murphy, he will come out 7th on that, the last car on the lead lap. But he really had nothing to lose there.
So 35 laps to go, going to be probably 33 when they go back to green. We saw Wayne Hutchison stretch it to 30 laps. These drivers able to stretch another 2-3 laps out of it, you think?
We will see. That's all I can say is we will see because you can never know. Now 9th through 17th are in the position to take the wave around, and that will put them back on the lead lap. So keep that in mind. We'll have to watch them. They may come in. I don't really know. We'll have to see. I mean, we're about time to pit. So staying out, and hoping for a quick caution, that may be a good bet. But you never know. You just never know. I mean, we had a long green flag run, so taking that bet could come back to haunt you. Yeah, and I think we see it. We see a lot of drivers coming in. A ton of drivers having to come down pit lane right now.
Yeah, they really didn't have a choice. I mean, they're so deep into the run. They would have needed another caution almost immediately after taking a round in order to be able to get back on the lead lap. So now if they get another caution here right away, I would imagine they stay out.
Now, quick shout out to Drew Lalonde. Drew Lalonde looks like he hung on there and was able to get the lucky dog. He will be in 8th position starting here. And actually, we did have a taker, Patrick Kopp, or Cope, depending on how you pronounce his name. The number 30 car, he stayed out. He was a lap down. He'll get the wave around here, assuming he doesn't come to pit at the last second, which he very may, he could do that if he so chooses. He is in the 9th position. So at most, 9 cars in lead lap, and we get this race started again.
Got a couple of Northwest cars at the front of the field. They're staying out for sumo wave round, but they're down. So
yeah, I think you see some guys just basically shooting for the stars at this point, trying to get anything they can back towards the end here. Because keep in mind, and we have to keep reminding you guys, this is a team race. Never give up because you never know. It may come down to 1 or 2 positions at the end of this when they end up adding the points up.
pace car brings them off. 3 and 4 here. Lights still on. Probably going to be going green the next time around.
Yeah, and our leader right now is the 4th car back from that pace car, so keep an eye on him. The 3 cars in front of him will be wanting to take a wave around here. Yeah, there they go. They will get the wave around. That will put the 30 on the lead lap here. After that, it's the 18 of Chad Barker that will put him to 1 lap down. And in front of him, that is the 11 that will put Todd Labronte to 5 laps down. So a couple of these drivers not really gaining that much trying to get their laps back. But who knows? If a quick caution comes out, it could play in your favor, and then you've gained a lap in no time. So really, really good. I say why not, when it comes down to this.
Yeah. You've got an all DH front row, and then 5 of the next 6 spots are all UK and Ireland. So UK and Ireland looking really good here. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely doing a great job right now. And right now, we've only got 1 Northwest truck on the lead lap.
What kind of car?
Apologize, 2 on the lead lap. 1 will not be up front though. He's the one that got the lucky dog. That is Drew Lalonde, the 3 car. Apologize. He'll be sitting in the back.
Yeah. We do truck races a lot, so
we do a lot of truck races.
So Stefan Nova's going to bring him off 3 and 4 here. Pace car will be ducking off, and we're waiting on him to get this thing started. Going to have 32 laps to go when we go back to Green Flag Racing here. And right now, UK and I are looking real good for that championship. Yatch is going to need some help. They're going to need some drivers to get back up towards the front here for them to have any kind of shot.
Yeah, we're really going to have to see how this shakes out. Now, we see the 31 and 27 pulling away. Those will be teammates driving together, trying to stay at the front here. The 26, the 112, and the 6 car, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, they are all in the same group as well. As back behind them, that is the 58 of Mark Murphy. He's trying to join his teammates right now. The 17 going alone. That's Wayne Hutchinson. He's trying to save a spot, but it looks like he might have to give that up. I don't know. See if he can drive back on the bottom. Oh, he does. Look at that speed off the corner. Really good pass by him. That 58 will go back into the 7th position, and everyone behind these cars are at least 1 lap down. So you get all the way at the back of the pack is the 3 of Drew Lalonde. We'll keep an eye on him, but for now, he's kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. We'll have to watch him as he moves up through the field.
Yeah, Wayne Hutchinson is a lonely Northwest driver up front there right now.
Yeah, it's all about sticking around your teammates and trying to keep it clean, but unfortunately a lot of drivers were not able to do that. But I think for the most part, you'll see these leaders try and keep it clean. They're not going to really battle too much. I really don't think they will. I think they'll stick in their packs, and towards the end, they'll try to gain as many spots as they can. But for the most part, really no reason to battle super hard right now because they're just trying to stick together.
Now, if this thing goes green the rest of the way, we talked about it a little bit earlier. We do not know if they're going to be able to make it to the end on the fuel they have. If the 31 continues to lead, he's definitely not going to be able to.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. This is going to be cutting it close. Now, I would hope that maybe they're going to try and save some fuel here. I'm not quite sure if they've even tried that before because they tend to either these races tend to go completely green and no reason to hold off, or caution comes out and they don't have to worry about it. So we'll see what kind of ending we have today, but it's looking really, really good right now.
And the 17 of Wayne Hutchinson, he's definitely trying to harass these guys. He's trying to move towards the front here a little bit.
Yeah, just letting him know that he's there, trying to make a little bit of noise as best he can. But really can only do so much right now. As I mentioned before, I think these guys are just going to try and take it easy. Take it easy and just try to get back up there. To give you a clue of where and how far back these drivers that get the lucky dog are, the 3 of Drew Lalonde is now 3.3 seconds back of our leader right now. 3.3 seconds back of our leader, so he's got a lot of time to make up if he wants to even try to pick up some spots. Now, Patrick Kopp, remember, he stayed out. He stayed out, got the wave around, and he is now 17 seconds. 17 seconds. He is not at full speed, only able to run 215, it looks like, around 220. So he is down some speed, has some damage, so I wouldn't be surprised if he goes a lap down in just a few laps.
Meanwhile, back up front, teammates continuing to run 1-2, and then a couple of UK and Ireland drivers running in third and fourth there. Got a Northwest driver, 17, Wayne Hutchison in fifth, and then two more UK and Ireland drivers in sixth and seventh. So not a whole lot changing up front. This is definitely going to come down to fuel strategy if there's not another caution. Normally when we start talking about fuel strategy, though, there's another caution. So
now, I'll tell you what. We don't have a Carolina Club driver up on the lead lap. But right off of the lead lap, we have quite a few of them. So they're trying to stick together, but unfortunately they're all a lap down. So they really have got to do something. Risk either trying to make it to the end, seeing if some of the leaders run out of fuel or something. But these Carolina drivers, they are sticking together. They are gaining a few positions from other lap down cars, but for the most part, they are stuck pretty much right where they are.
pretty much nose to tail everywhere. Don't see a whole lot of passing there.
No, you can see for the most part, with these, that is the 3 of Drew Lalonde up in the back. Looks like he scraped the wall, came off, was able to save it. Lost a couple of spots there, but not spots for position, since he is so far in the back behind the lead lap cars, because he just got the lucky dog, but got to keep it clean if he wants to pick up any spots here if the caution comes out.
Meanwhile, back up front, nothing's changing. These 8 or 9 cars here are just settling in and cranking out laps right now. Nobody looks like they're trying to do anything.
No, I mean, we are really single file racing when it comes down to it. We are single file racing, and we almost have at least a car length behind each car. They're giving each other space. It's good to see they're keeping it clean, but every now and then you'll run into someone that's battling for position here. Looking out back, looks like that 42. Ooh, is right in front of him. That's the 52 of Christian Stillman. He has hit the wall multiple times. That car is just punished right now. It's just so damaged, and he's trying to keep up speed, trying to stay as far up as he can. He's only 1 lap down with the amount of damage he has, so it's quite impressive he's been able to hold that car together, but losing a couple spots right there after hitting the turn 2 wall.
Yeah, that's definitely going to cost him. He's sitting back there in 13th. That is high enough that his points probably would be scored for his team right now.
Yeah, shout out to Wayne Hutchinson, the 17, passing all of these UKNI drivers right now. He is third, squeezed in between 2 clubs right now, trying to do his best. You see this pack catching the leaders. And it looks like, for the most part, all 7 of our drivers, all 7 of our 8 lead lap drivers are together within a second of each other.
They are starting to negotiate their way around some lap traffic here.
Yeah, the traffic they're hitting are drivers that are really, really multiple laps down, with heavily damaged cars that are just not able to stay up to speed. They won't really reach the big packs of cars for a little while. For the most part, they're doing a pretty good job. Keep an eye on the 51 of Aaron Rodgers and the 42 of David Wright. Those guys will be battling for our lucky dog should a caution come out. We are crossing the line this time by 20 laps to go. 2-0 laps to go here.
And just saw the race administrator as we watched the 51 get into the wall there just a little bit. All 9 spots count for each team in this race. There aren't any drops. They're not taking the top 5. They're taking all 9.
Yeah,
so it's
all
in
9.
everybody's best interest to stay out on the track if possible, unless their car is just completely ruined.
Yes, indeed. And just to give you guys an idea of what we're looking like in the back of the pack, we have the 28, who was initially the first car out of the race with heavy damage, 53 laps down. He's back on track. So keep that in mind. Even he is trying for every spot that they can get. That is, I believe, Marion Hensel right now in the 28 car. Mark Walls, unfortunately, they are out. That is from the Northwest Club. We have Carl Hughes from the UK&I Club is out so far, so they're not picking up any positions. Carl Burke is not picking up any positions from Northwest Club. Jared Morgan from the Northwest Club not picking up any positions. You see a common thread here, the Northwest losing a couple of cars. So keep that in mind when it comes to the scoring.
Yeah, and Marion
Oh, it's
Hensel,
like the 36. Sorry, the 36 went off track a little bit there.
just got a tip of the cap to Marion Hensel. That's what they call stick-to-itiveness.
Yes, indeed, you are correct. But he can pick up a few spots here. We have 18 laps to go, and he has a couple of drivers in front of him on the board right now that he can pick up. So it's really good on his part. Even though he may not be going as fast as these other drivers, he is picking up spots as he's logging laps.
Stefan Nobis continuing to show the way out front here, and this front 5 has broken away just a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like it. Mark Murphy and Connery Maddock, both of those drivers are 2 seconds now, 2 seconds behind our leader, running with a lap down car. So 6th and 7th have dropped off, so the top 5 are the only other drivers on the lead lap sticking in a pack together.
And we are starting to get down to it. 16 to go this next time by. And the field is getting spread out enough that another caution is starting to look like it may not happen.
Yeah, for the most part, people are really spread out. I think the only thing that can really bring a caution out will be someone possibly hitting the wall and coming out in front of another driver and the, iRacing seeing that as a big yellow opportunity. But for the most part, these drivers are trying to keep it clean. Now, I can honestly say I'm a little worried getting towards the end here for Wayne Hutchinson. He is stuck between 2 drivers from 2 different clubs right now. So he really doesn't have a running partner when it comes down to it. He really won't have anyone giving him an extra little push if possible. So this is going to get really interesting. Keep an eye on him towards the end of this race. They are crossing the line this time by 15 laps to go.
Yeah, it looks like the next Northwest driver is still the 3 of Drew Lalonde sitting back there in 8th. He is running completely by himself right now.
Yeah, and actually, the next driver they're going to pass that is a Northwest driver is the 91 of Scott Hutchinson, but he is down some speed. So even if they catch a lap car to try and stick with Wayne Hutchinson, it won't be one that can really compete with them and able to push him. So I don't see them getting anyone they can pick up. I mean, maybe Chad Barker, but he himself is even down a little bit on speed, so it's going to be tough for him to find a teammate here.
Yeah, and I want to give a shout out to Michael Tant sitting back there in 23rd, had that connection issue. He got back out there. He only dropped 3 laps. So he's being scored in 23rd, and those are going to be crucial position points that he's scoring.
Yeah, he's got a couple of cars on his lap, so I mean, keep that in mind. Absolutely keep that in mind, for sure.
Meanwhile, back up front, they just continue to clock laps. Wayne Hutchison has now got himself between the two teammates. He is setting sights on that 31. Stefan Nobis, he wants to lead this thing.
Yeah, but look behind him. Look who joined the pack again. That is Mark Murphy and Connery Maddock again. They are back up on a leader. Ooh, as the 112 comes off the wall, spins the 32 in front of the 58. Oh, the 58 collects and the caution will come out because of that. 13 laps to go. As that caution comes out, we will definitely have a restart here. Wow. What a turn of events there. Trying to see which car that was.
Got the
Ah, that was
32.
Doug Pickering.
It was actually the 26 and the 112 touch. And then I don't believe the 112 realized the 32 was down there. And
no, and just clipped them and spun them right around and collected the 58. The 58 took some damage from that. So, unfortunately, a couple of lead lap cars getting caught up in that.
shouldn't be too bad on the 58. This front end still looks okay. A little bit of wrinkle on the hood there.
Yeah, but look who is in second. Looks to me like Wayne Hutchinson.
Stefan Nobis.
Yeah, he's off track for me. He's actually, I don't know if that's just me losing connection, but
Oh, that would be really unfortunate. He has been dominant and now is being scored in 14th.
yeah, he was not involved in anything. This is definitely internet for him. He had 17 leading all of the lead lap drivers on pit lane, which is not surprising. They're going to want to get some extra fuel here and put 4 fresh Goodyears on that car. Drew Lalonde sticking with it. So Wayne Hutchinson might have a teammate at the end of this.
Oh, and somebody has really missed their pit there. Who that is? I believe that was the 52, maybe? That Mr. Pitt ended up within the 26th and had to back up. But Wayne Hutchison, he comes off. He's going to be the first one out. Leave, so not a whole lot going to change up front. And Wayne Hutchison is leading for the first time today.
That was the 27 car that you were referring to, by the way. 27 car, losing a couple of positions on pit lane right there. And I don't know about you, but I am not picking up. And there we go. We saw it. Stefan Nobis received a thorough, but unfortunately, he is logged back in. He is currently connected. Has only lost 1 lap, but that is disastrous for him. And you really, really hate to see that.
Yeah, that's just man, it just kind of goes with the territory. Sometimes that happens, but you really hate to see it happen to somebody who's been dominant. This is a 80 lap race, and he's led 67 laps.
Yeah, really incredible.
Excuse me,
I'm
63.
just shocked. That's probably came at the worst possible time when you're getting quite possibly the last restart. But he is moving. He is off of pit lane right now. So unfortunately, he'll be competing for the lucky dog. Now, keep in mind, past 5 laps to go. It is next caution, next flag. Caution flag ends it. So keep that in mind. So he really only has like 1 or 2 laps to try and get the lucky dog here. And he's going to be in some deep trouble, unfortunately, because of that.
And we've got a lot of drivers taking the pits. All our lap down drivers. Top 5 as we get ready to finish this 2016 World Cup of iRacing Intimidator Championship. Wayne Hutchison in first, Connery Maddock in second, Mark Murphy in 58. They're in third. Um, Karsten Wegeroff in fourth, and Drew Lalonde in fifth. So things have changed up front. We got going to have two UK and I drivers and two Northwest drivers in the top five now.
Yeah, keep in mind that's 6 cars. 6 cars in front of our leader right now are going to take the wave around this time by. We've got a good mixture here. It's not all drivers just trying to get on the lead lap. We have Simon Thorne's trying to get on the lead lap. We have Aaron Rodgers trying to get on the lead lap here. Matthew Coleman is trying to get on the lead lap here. We have a couple of drivers just trying to gain as many laps back as they can. Roman Walter trying to get to 17 laps down. We have Douglas Hess trying to get to 1 lap down. And we have Michael Tant trying to get to 2 laps down. So we have a couple of drivers competing here. Chad Barker as well, John Jarrett, all trying to gain as many laps as they can back, because if you can just get a lap back, you can pass a couple of drivers. So it's very, very smart on their part.
So everybody's on fresh tires for the most part, except for these guys who are going to be taking this wave around, and we're right down to it. So expect some aggressiveness here as we end this thing.
There you go. You see the pace car. Oh, as we have a driver turn around right by the pace car. Holy cow, that is not what you want to see at all. Goodness.
That was the 50?
I believe so. No, that was the 517. The 517 of Simon Thorns spun himself out trying to get his wave around, actually. Wow, if things hadn't been exciting before, they are now. He spun himself out. He just revved his tires. He spun his tires up and spun himself out, unfortunately. Luckily, no one hit him. He's still trying to go, but I mean, he's just into turn 3 right now as our leaders are on the backstretch, so he won't make up that much time. But that wave around is putting him on the lead lap. Still taking the green flag this time by, so those wave around drivers, they're needing to go right now, absolutely. Unfortunately, because of that, a couple of these wave around drivers have to wait for that 517 to pass them, so that's hurting them just as much as it's hurting other drivers. Man, you hate to see that. That's tough. That is tough, but look at this pack right now. About to come to this green. That is the 17 of Wayne Hutchinson from the Northwest Club, trying to compete with the 6 car of Connery Maddock from the UK and I Club. That is your front row as we are coming to this tri-oval. We'll see the pace car drop off now. We will come to 8 laps to go. Wasting absolutely no time is that 17. He will get a little bit of a jump, but that could come back to haunt him with these drivers back behind him. The 6, the 27, the 58 all together. The 6 and 58 are teammates. Oh, we've got almost 3 wide behind him. Drew Lalonde, 26 of Doug Pickering, and the 112 of Harry Tiller pressing it. Look at the 31 car, the 31 of Stefan Novus. He is not on the lead lap. Remember, he disconnected because of internet, able to get back, but is still 1 lap down. I think he's trying to get back up to the front to help his teammate out right now, and so is Drew Lalonde trying to pick up some spots. Keep an eye on that, but Wayne Hutchinson looking like he's going to get challenged now by the 27 car. Side by side they go. Looks like 17 has a big run here that will allow him to lead this lap. 7 laps to go.
Yeah, and the 17, he's trying to defend his territory. He's trying to make that old Gen 5 car 30 feet wide here.
Yeah.
And he's not going to be able to do it. They're going to freight train him here.
Ooh, it looks like the 36 in the back. Ooh, spins the... Well, that is the 83, I believe. Yes, indeed. I'm sorry, that is the 52. The 52. Oh, and the 36 heavy in the wall. On the backstretch here, that caution will come out. The 36 ended up coming out in front of other cars, and that is why that caution did come out. He hit the wall and sprang back in front of him. Wow, heavy hit for him.
He had, yeah. I'm not sure what happened to the 52. I mean, it looked like he was okay.
Yeah, the 52. Well, what happened was the 52 was running in the center, and he was trying to go up a little bit as the 36 just cut down. That spun the 52 out. The 36 ended up, actually, some retaliation. That's what happened there. The 36 got hit by the 28 car. So we have some team retaliation already. You see that 36 had spun him out, and his teammate came up and cleaned him. Wow. A little bit of drama here towards the end of the race.
So, once the wave around gets done here, Stefan Nobis is going to be back on the lead lap.
Yes, indeed. What about that? And now, because of taking the wave around the 2 laps before, Matthew Coleman, David Wright, they will take advantage of the wave around that they just took. So a really good call by those guys. Now they're on the lead lap.
And got to give a shout out to Karsten Wegeroff there in the 27 car. He is leading for the first time today. He was able to complete that pass before caution came out. So, yeah, it's back
really nicely
up front.
Done. And we really do have a mix of cars. I mean, we've got, and I apologize for my abbreviation, but I will continue to use it. Right now, our clubs look like up at the front, we have DH, Northwest, UK&I, Northwest, DH. So we literally have a good mixture of cars. Now, unfortunately, as I said before, we really don't have anyone representing the Carolina club on the lead lap, and you hate to see that, but a couple of them just caught in some big wrecks early on, and that is why some single car wrecks. That's why we don't really see anyone up front. But Stefan Nobis coming around now, trying to take his lucky dog. That will put 10 cars on the lead lap once we get back to green.
Yeah, and I have to imagine he is going to be coming through this field like a hot knife through butter. He's been fast all day. Now he's got a perfect car, too.
Yeah, the only trouble with that, unfortunately, and you really hate to say this, I really hate to say this, but he'll be starting nearly 3 seconds behind our leaders. So he's got to come through a ton of lap down cars to even try and pick up a spot. So unfortunately, the 27 still really alone right up front there. But who knows? Might get some help from Doug Pickering. Doug Pickering also from the DH Club.
And this will be their last chance to finish this under green. Once they go green again here, any caution will end the race.
Yes, indeed. You are correct. As always, my friend.
60% of the time.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Every time.
And our pace car did not get the 1 to go. So keep an eye on that. The more they lap under yellow, the less they leave for green, and that's just going to cause more mayhem towards the end. A lot of cars trying to get by each other.
Got to give a shout out to Drew Lalonde out there. He's had an interesting afternoon here. He's been started out in the back. He's coming forward, got involved in a couple of incidents. He's got a pretty significant right side damage there, but he's sitting there in 5th. He's going to shot it to score some significant points for his club here.
Yeah, also, I apologize. I referred to Doug Pickering as the wrong club. He's UK&I, and I was looking back behind him at Wolfgang, and I do apologize for that. So unfortunately, it does look like the 27 up at the front will be alone on this restart.
And we will be going around at least one more time here.
Yeah, the storm is brewing, that is for sure. The calm before the storm, as they say. We'll see as they cross the line. We will get the one to go this time by 3 laps, 2 laps once we cross that checkered line and get the green. This is going to be 2 laps to go. As if it hasn't been interesting enough, we see them double up. Breath here, boys.
So just in NASCAR style, we're going to get a true green-white check.
Yes, indeed.
And not really enough drive. Well, UK and Ireland, they're sitting there in second, third, and, or excuse me, third, fourth, and sixth. So they could do some team communicating here. Try to do something on the restart. But other than that, it's just such a mix that really nobody's going to have an advantage here.
Well, to be perfectly honest, I really do believe that obviously UK and I have such an upper hand here. They hold, looks like 3rd, 4th, 6th, 7th, 9th, all on the tracker. They hold a lot of spots in the lead lap right now, so they are looking really good. Shout out to David Wright, though. David Wright, the lone driver from Carolina. We finally have a Carolina Club driver up on the lead lap. Good to see. Welcome to the top 10 on his part.
We're going to ride on board looking at this angry mob from roof cam on Preston Wegger's Gen 5 car here.
Here they go. Not wasting a second. Oh, it looks like the 20. What happened to the 20 of Matthew Coleman? He could not get going. He is 3 wide across the line here. The 112 will get by him. But wow, that slowed a lot of cars down. But up front, the 17, 2 wide. The 58 gets by the 6 now. The 6 of Connery Maddock trying to get by. So we see 2 Northwest drivers finally together. The 17 and the 3 car. Ooh, as the 27 loses a lot of pace trying to block now. We see blocking come out with 2 laps to go. This is going to get very dangerous. If caution comes out, that will end the race as they are. Keep that in mind as that 27, ooh, the 3 blocking the 42 now. The 42 making a run for the Carolina Club. Looking good. The 58 side-by-side up front competing, trying to cross the line here. The 17, look at the run the 17 gets. Wayne Hutchinson 3 wide behind him. The 42, the 3, the 3rd. Oh, Lord in heaven, the 803. The 803 is a lap down. The 803 is trying to get to his teammate to help him. That 803 is not in contention. Oh, the 3 smacks the wall. The 42 bounces off, trying to miss him. They do. They get back going, but unfortunately, that 3 losing some speed now. The 58 is up high, getting passed by that 803. Keep an eye on that 803 driver. He is not on lead lap. This is going to cause some trouble here. I have no doubt. Ooh, as the 42 smacks the 803, the 42 spinning in front of drivers. The caution has not come out yet. He's on the track, though. He's on the track as cars slam around him.
And Karsten Wegerhoff has won this race.
Yes,
and
indeed.
As soon as
the
all
27.
these... Go ahead.
Sorry. Apologize for that. What an incredible run they had. The 27 winning the race as the 58... the 17 of Wayne Hutchinson following in second. Looks like his teammate, the 11, trying to congratulate him. And Mark Murphy doing a hell of a job. The wreck came out and the caution did not. The caution did not come out. Showing a replay of that finish there. The 27 was able to get that win and actually got that win by a good 10th of a second. So it wasn't as if they were too close at the line there. I think they were all wondering whether that caution would come out or not. He looked pretty good coming across the line. The 17 had it for the most part across the line. It was really the race for 3rd between teammates. The 58 and the 6 across the line, they were really the closest finishers. Now we're gonna have to wait to get the official call, but we have quite a few drivers doing some donuts right now. From the 27, I believe the 31, Stefan. Now he tried to do the best he could. He ended up finishing seventh on the race, so a good rebound for him after going a lap down because of his internet. Really, really good to see by him, and a very interesting race overall. People trying to rebound. Now, unfortunately, that 42, the first Carolina driver, his driver's trying to push him. The 9 car behind him trying to push him. It really won't matter. He'll easily finish the first car a lap down in 10th position. But you see him, the Carolina driver, pushing his car as he hits the leader, burning out. We have absolute mayhem across the line. But what a great teammate in that 9 car. That is Gary Jenkins trying to put his teammate across the line. Again, really doesn't matter. He finishes the first car a lap down. Congratulations to them for what some wonderful teammates we have there. Good teamwork.
So we'll have should have points here in just a second. The
I don't believe we have third place, but we do indeed have second. I'm going to pull Wayne Hutchinson in here and get a quick word from him as we wait for the points to be tallied. Wayne Hutchinson, you got your mic on.
Yeah, how's it going, Katie?
Hey, Wayne, how's it going? You had an incredible race there, and for the most part, you were alone up front. The Northwest drivers kind of checked out on you. What was going through your mind there?
Yeah, we talked about it before the race, and a lot of guys wanted to hang back, just worried about what the carnage might be like. So I think a lot of the guys started at the back. I took a flyer. I think we better split our strategy, and so I decided to start as close to the front as I could, and it was a lot of fun. It was a very good race.
Yes, indeed. Well, it showed. I mean, it was very fun for you towards the end, and it almost looked like Drew Lalonde was trying to get to you, hoping to maybe kind of be your blocker or just kind of be your muscle. But unfortunately, he just didn't get there, and we had, of course, across the line, we had some trouble in the back. But I guess my biggest question was towards the end, did you kind of have a all out kind of strategy where you're just trying to do the best you could, or were you just trying to stay patient and just take what they can give you?
Well, after we had that caution around lap, I don't know, it was 48 or 50. After that, it was we were really close on fuel, so I was trying to stay in the draft of the front two guys. I think they were both from the DH club, and trying to stay in their draft and save fuel to maybe make it to the end. Didn't matter. I had another caution, so after that, it was basically flat out. I think we went green with 8 to go, and it was just going wear the tires off as much as you could. It was a ton of fun. The last restart, the UK and IRL guys got a run on me on the inside, and I fortunately was able to get them back on the next lap to get that second place. But Karsten, he ran a good race. He was top 3, 4, 5 all day, and he deserves the win.
Yeah, I hear you on that. Well, you did an excellent job, and I guess before we congratulate you on your second place finish, is there anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, I mean, just you probably noticed that most of the guys out there racing for Northwest today were from the Dog Bear team. You're probably familiar with from the Thursday night truck series. Everybody, I think, had a good showing today. We had a little trouble here and there, but the team, we practiced a little bit this afternoon to get ready, and we did the best we could. So it was a lot of fun. Good showing for the Northwest Club.
Well, we hear you, and again, congratulations on your second place finish. And as we get to the points here, we do see with all the trouble they did have, the Northwest Club is going to finish fourth in this event. And it was a tough race for them. It really was. They were trying to stick to it, but they just got caught up in a couple of bad wrecks and just could not get back to it. So you really hate to see that. They when they wrecked hard, and that's unfortunately is what really got them towards the bottom of the track there. Tony, who took third there?
Yeah, the DH Club, they take bronze with 410 points. So good showing by them. Really unfortunate for Stefan Nobis. Doesn't look like that would have affected their finish, but he was so good for so much of the day. It was just unfortunate that he ended up having that disconnect there. Yeah, but overall good showing, good podium finish for them.
Yes, indeed. And actually, taking the silver is Club Carolina. Shout out to Club Carolina. Now, we highlighted throughout the race that they did not have a lot of cars up front. They really didn't. They weren't up front for most of the race, they weren't on the lead lap for most of the race. But they stuck together and they finished mid pack, and that is really what gave them their silver medal here in this race. It was really incredible by them. 442 points, so a decent amount above DH Club right there. So really well done, really really well done by the Carolina Club. And unfortunately we don't have them in TeamSpeak, but a big shout out to David Wright. We saw at the end the lone Carolina Club driver trying to finish the best he could, finishing up in 10th right there. Really, really good job by him, and congratulations to the Carolina Club.
Yeah, and so the winner of this year's 2016 World Cup of iRacing Intimidator Series is UK and Ireland with 533 points. We saw them early find each other, and they were all running, you know, top 15. They weren't to the front, but they just worked their way to the front. And by the time we got to that first caution, all of a sudden you look and you had 5 out of 8 drivers, I think, in the top 8 were all UK and Ireland drivers. So they worked the strategy perfectly, and they're going to be holding the bragging rights for the Intimidator series for the next year. So congratulations to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Really, really well done by them. They did not take the win, but they were lucky enough and strong enough to keep running, to keep trying to get every single lap they could, and they really did a fantastic job. I can't highlight that enough. A really, really, really good job by them. And they had a couple of drivers that actually had some difficulty, but they just kept running. They kept running. I'm going to highlight Carl Hughes Highs, and again, I apologize if I'm mispronouncing your name, but the 12 car did a fantastic job. They actually got out pretty early. We're doing a decent job. Got involved in an accident. Went multiple laps down. Were stuck on pit lane. Came out, picked up a couple spots, and just did a great job. So a couple of drivers had that bad luck, but they ended up finishing with the gold medal. So again, congratulations to the UK and I Club.
Yeah, and that is going to bring our coverage of this year's World Cup of iRacing Intimidator Series to an end. Um, Join us tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern, 5 a.m. Pacific. Grab your bacon and your pancakes. Come watch the Armageddon series, which is going to be 100 laps at Linear, no cautions, 10 fast repairs. It's basically a roller derby. It's going to be an amazing show. Looking forward to you guys joining us for that. So we will see you then. For Katie Reed, I am Tony Knuckles, and we are out.